structure. Circle, persons grouped around a center of interest. An unbroken sequence of reciprocal cause and effect. An action and reaction that intensify each other. Circle, 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 circle. 24 hours, a period of cycle. 24 hours, no beginning, no end. Channel 4 from tonight. Timeless.
Nigel, it's starting.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Allow me to breathe free the wretched brokenness of your teeming shores.
Get the snowplow out tonight. The road to the Super Bowl goes through Green Bay. So do the 49ers. Play the Packers. And it's off to North Carolina for our main game. The defending champions Dallas against the Panthers who are making their playoff debut. We've got the AFC covered too as Jacksonville follow their upset win over Buffalo with an even tougher test in Denver. And Pittsburgh, looking to reach the Super Bowl for the second year running, travel to New England to face the Patriots. Good evening from Green Bay, where I'm reliably informed it never rains in January. Tonight, the Green Bay Packers, the Super Bowl favourites, enter the playoffs, and they'll be up against their usual twin opponents, the visiting team and the select 11 of celebrity ghosts from Lambeau Field's glorious past. The Packers' phenomenal success in the 60s when Vince Lombardi coached them to victories in Super Bowls 1 and 2 has haunted every Packers team since, and the pressure on the current squad to be the first for 28 years to lift the trophy with their old coach's name on it has been building since training camp. To do it, they have to get past San Francisco, a team they faced at this stage of last year's playoffs, but in different circumstances. 12 months ago, the Packers went into San Francisco as underdogs and knocked the defending champions out of the playoffs, almost literally.
There's only one way to play football. How is it?
What rankles even more with the 49ers is their overtime defeat at Lambeau Field earlier this season, a loss they blamed on bad calls by the officials and their own coaches. To avoid defeat number 3, San Francisco have to contain number 4. Green Bay quarterback Brett Favre has just picked up his second NFL Most Valuable Player award. Steve Young, by contrast, picked up yet another injury last week, and he'll need painkillers and special padding on his badly bruised ribs just to start the game.
Well, Withers flown in at huge expense to the 49ers is their former running back Roger Craig. Roger, the last time we worked together was the divisional round last year when the Packers won at 3Com Park. Do you think last year's game and the one earlier this year will have any bearing today?
I think the Packers are motivated all year to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, they worked hard, I mean, to get to this point. They're focused. I listened to a lot of interviews from Brett Favre and everyone. You could just see it. They kind of remind me of the 1980s when we played, you know, and they know what they want. But on the other hand, the 49ers are a team that you can't just overlook. We're really experienced in the playoffs. Jerry Rice, Steve Young, we all know what it takes to get the job done as far as going to the next level. The field condition is going to be a big part, going to play a big part on both teams. I think it's the teams who make the least mistakes are going to come out on top because I think they're evenly matched right now.
Give us the inside word on Steve Young. He took that hit last week. He's wearing a thicker flak jacket. Do you think he'll survive the game?
Well, you know, Steve Young's ribs are really sore. I talked to him earlier this morning. Hopefully he doesn't get hit on the ribs. He's going to probably take some Novocaine shots to numb it up so he can play. But when it's out here in this cold weather, you know, you can feel everything. So hopefully we can protect him and keep the major hits from him so he can survive the game. If not, Elvis Gerback has had a great week of practice. He's looking forward to just coming in and doing a good job for the team.
On the other side of the ball, though, you've got Brett Favre, who succeeded Steve Young as the MVP. He's healthy. Most of his receivers are healthy. It's going to be difficult to stop him.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to stop these guys. What we have to do is just go out and just play heads-up football and just, you know, don't let Brett Favre get into a rhythm, because if he gets into a rhythm, we're in trouble.
Now, word about the conditions before we go to the game. The Packers were hoping for snow and ice to enhance the home field advantage. As you can see, it's more like the soggy conditions that the 49ers won in last week. The Packers are just coming out. Let's go to the game.
We might as well. Everyone else had. There were only 3 unused tickets for this game, and they were travelling fans stuck at the airport. The 49ers won the toss, and they have the ball at their own 20 to start the game. The commentators are Dick Stockton and Matt Millen.
Split backs on first down. Rolling out is Young. No one to throw to, and he goes out of bounds after a gain of about 4. Brian Williams chased him out of bounds. Rice in motion, and the handoff is to Terry Kirby. And Kirby gets about a yard. Will bring up 3rd and about 5.
Because of Steve Young's rib injury, you're going to have to protect him. I mean, they're not going to want to get him out of that pocket. And so the interior offensive line is huge today, specifically because obviously you don't want Young to get hurt. And then they have to be able to run the football. They are not a physical offensive line, and they're going against a defensive front that is very physical.
And as you said, Young has been their best runner. 3rd down and 5. Kirby in motion. Young flips it to Jerry Rice, and Rice is hit hard immediately by George Kuntz, and the 49ers will have to punt.
You know, Dick, if you listen to Howie Long in our pregame show, what you just saw is what he said would happen. Because Steve Young has injected those ribs and the field is bad, they're going to have to throw short. And so I think the Packers will play them for the short passing game.
Desmond Howard, who led the NFL in punt returns and returned 3 for touchdowns, will receive Tommy Thompson's kick. And a good kick, considering the conditions, by Thompson. Howard at the 29. Desmond Howard into 49er territory, and Desmond Howard may go all the way. There are no flags down. Touchdown, Green Bay. 71 yards.
You know, Dick, this return, the first thing, Bernardo Harris right here gets a nice block on 57, Randy Kirk. But then I want you to watch Desmond Howard. This is pure confidence. He knows his game. He made 3 guys miss, and then it was just the magic of Lambeau into the end. But he didn't do it without some help. I mean, you have to be able to get people blocked. Watch Curtis Buckley. They just absolutely abuse him. Everybody's taking shots at him. Now you have to let him back up. That would be considered holding. They throw him back down, then they keep on pounding him, and it doesn't stop there.
And the kick is good.
Desmond Howard's 4th punt return for a touchdown this season, and it was 7-0 Green Bay. Sadly for San Francisco, this was about as mobile as Steve Young got, jogging to the locker room to see a man about a hypodermic. So after an exchange of punts, the 49ers, as predicted by Roger Craig, are going to the man who had the good week of practice. Here's their 3rd possession. They're at their own 11.
So Elvis Grbac has come in at quarterback for the 49ers, and he hands off to William Floyd. And nothing there, no gain on the play. Grbac has played only 2 of the last 6 games for the 49ers, but those were his numbers in Week 7 against the Packers, where he threw 2 touchdown passes and actually played well, despite the fact they lost the game.
Yeah, he's played well every time he's been in there. I mean, they have a great amount of confidence in Elvis Grbac, but some things change when Grbac is in the game. Specifically with your offensive line.
Right, and also in the game, Matt, Adrian Cooper. Brent Jones on the sidelines now. 2nd and 8, Kirby, not much there, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
And you see the guy right down there in the middle of all that stuff is Gilbert Brown, number 93. You know, I mentioned about Howie Long. Howie Long could always appreciate a good nose tackle or inside man, because everything on your defense works from the inside out. If you get a guy who's playing as well as Gilbert Brown is right now, you solidify the middle. You solidify the middle of your defense, you got a shot everywhere else.
And Brown and, of course, Santana Dotson really solidified the tackle positions for the Packers this year. Brings up a 3rd down and 3. 3 wide receivers for the 49ers. Gerback flips it out. Terry Kirby making a good play, but nothing doing.
That's a great play.
Simmons.
Wayne Simmons played that perfectly. You can't do it any better than that. See, Simmons came out. Remember last year in this game,
he played a big game.
He was the player of the game. Watch Wayne Simmons. First thing in the screen, you have to beat the guy in front of you, always. And so you beat Jesse Sapolo first, then you make the tackle.
That was a career game for Wayne Simmons a year ago in the playoff in San Francisco. So now Desmond Howard back deep again, and Tommy Thompson kicking from inside the 5. And a good kick by Thompson. And Howard gets into 49er territory. And here's Desmond Howard again with one man to beat.
Unbelievable.
Desmond Howard gets tripped up at the 10-yard line. And preventing the touchdown was Frankie Smith. Smith prevents a touchdown after the 46-yard return by Howard.
There's a certain amount of confidence, I talked about it earlier, when you get on a roll and you think, not only as a returner, but as a return team, that you can do no wrong. The Green Bay Packers are feeling that right now. I was fortunate enough to have played with 2 great returners. Tim Brown, when I was at the Raiders, was as good as they came. And there's a lot of Tim Brown and Desmond Howard. They have the great confidence. They think they can make any play.
Now the Packers with a 1st and goal at the 7. Edgar Bennett gets inside the 5-yard line, and in quickly was Bryant Young and Gary Plummer.
Well, you know, we talk about Gilbert Brown on one side of the ball, but then you look at the San Francisco defense, you talk about securing the middle. That's as secure as it gets in the National Football League. Bryant Young, 97, Dana Stubblefield, 94. They're the key to that defense. I mean, they have been since since Young was drafted and teamed up with him.
One seems to feed off the other. 2nd and goal. Packers were 2nd in red zone offense this year. Barr throws. Andre Rison makes the catch for the touchdown.
I want you to watch how he gets his touchdown. You see all this stuff? You see how long it's taking to develop? You know what that tells you on the front side? Favre had time to throw the ball. And then that kind of pattern plays perfectly into what Rison does.
And Chris Jackie's extra point is good.
The first quarter ended with the Packers 2 touchdowns up. And although Gerback was playing reasonably well, his receivers were letting him down. Here he drops the perfect pass into Terrell Owens, who then drops the perfect pass. At least that one went harmlessly out of bounds, though, unlike this one.
And the pass intercepted by Newsome on a deflection. Fumbled. He fumbles, and the scramble begins. And it appears to be Green Bay's ball.
We have an interception by the defense. Fumbled on the return. Recovered by the defense. 1st and down, Green Bay.
San Francisco's George Seifert looked like the ref sounded as the Packers took the turnover and made it 21-0 on Edgar Bennett's 2-yard run. The 49ers tried to reply with a drive inside the last 2 minutes of the half, but had to punt again.
Howard is going to let it roll.
Oh, that could be a fumble right there. That man hit Lamont Hollingquist 56, and if it did, that's a fumble and 49ers football.
They're indicating that it's their ball, and Chris Hayes and Hollingquist was over, and it's San Francisco ball. A break for the 49ers.
Yeah, look who got it. Curtis Buckley, the guy who had gotten abused earlier. Now watch, it's a bad kick, so you start yelling, get away, and it right there.
It hit him on the back of the foot. And it was Hayes.
It was Hayes.
And Buckley recovered.
So finally a punt goes the 49ers' way, and they look to capitalize.
And this pass is caught at the 15-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down. Jerry Rice with an 11-yard catch. And a play fake. Gerback looking for help, and he flips it to Kirby, and it's a touchdown. Terry Kirby with the touchdown catch, and the 49ers get on the board, taking advantage of the Green Bay turnover.
Still down 14 at half-time. The 49ers needed a big play early in the 3rd quarter. And they got it when Desmond Howard came out of the locker room too late to return the kickoff.
Andre Rison has gone back to join Beebe. And the kick bounces past Beebe. And the chasing.
Oh, that's a huge play. That's 6 points, boys.
Israel is down at the 2-yard line. Steve Israel with a great hustle play, and Andre Rison is shaken up.
That's a monster play. Now, I'm mistaken. That can't be a touchdown. You can't return it. Yeah. Now watch Beebe. He thinks he's going to try to come up and get this, which is the right thing to do. It gets through him, and then Rison tries to get over here, but a tremendous hustle play by Israel, and he picks that thing up, and that's going to be 1st and goal for the 49ers.
Jerry Rice lines up wide right. And now the clock is working. The 25-second clock is in motion. Handoff, fake, and on a bootleg, Elvis Gerback will walk into the end zone for the touchdown.
Great call. That was a great call. They had everything bite on that fake, and then Terrell Owens had a nice block on Doug Evans, had him to the back of the end zone. Gerback, heck, he could have skipped on in there. Watch everybody bite. Look at everybody draws right inside. Nobody out there. Goes right around Sean Jones.
And the touchdown makes it 21-13, and Elvis Gerback and the 49er offense getting a lot more confidence. But of course the turnovers on the special teams plays pivotal for San Francisco's comeback attempt. And now Jeff Wilkins for the extra point. And the kick is good, and it is now 21-14.
Uncomfortably close for the home fans, but Green Bay took the momentum right back with a long drive.
Edgar Bennett breaks one and gets close to midfield, and a first down and more, a pickup of 13 yards for Edgar Bennett, having an outstanding day. Favre fires, and the pass is caught by Freeman inside the 10. 3rd down and goal, and Edgar Bennett loses the ball. There's a fumble in the end zone.
That's either a touchdown or a touchback.
Well, Favre thinks the Packers have the touchdown.
Well, they're not going to believe it till the officials give it.
They gave it. And I think it was Antonio Freeman on the bottom of that pile who recovered the fumble for the Green Bay touchdown.
And the first thing you're going to notice that they're winning the line of scrimmage battle. Look at how San Francisco's going backwards. And then there comes Edgar Bennett. The ball pops up in the air right there. And there's the scramble.
That was all the scoring for the 3rd quarter. The 49ers drove inside the Packers 20 to start the 4th.
Here is Floyd, and he's tripped up. Fumble! And the Packers may have it. Brian Williams may have it, yes. Wait for the official signal. If the Packers have it, it's Brian Williams who alertly made the recovery.
There are more battles going on for fumbles today.
Fumble recovered by Green Bay. First down.
On a surface like a chocolate brownie, though, the Packers couldn't move the ball and had to punt.
What a kick. What a great kick by Craig Hedrick. And here is Kirby bringing it back. And he doesn't do a bad job. Fumbles it, and it's recovered by Chris Hayes.
Looks like Bernardo Harris put the lick on him, number 55.
From there, Green Bay finished the 49ers off with the one weapon they lacked, a running game.
2nd and 8, Edgar Bennett gets by one defender. Edgar Bennett drives, touchdown, Packers. On the 30th anniversary of their first Super Bowl championship, it'll be win number 17 in a row at Lambeau, and the Packers will move on to the title game in the NFC.
So Green Bay are in the championship game, and I'm joined by 2 great running backs for the finish, Roger Craig and his friend Edgar Bennett. Edgar, you could really run the ball today. Was that the difference in the game?
I think it was. We gave our defense a chance to catch their breath, keeping San Francisco's offense off the field.
And Roger, what did you make of his running performance today? Pretty good.
He took a page from my book. I sent him a workout tape. He knows about how I train and everything, so I'm just happy to see him that he's keeping the tradition going, you know, with the all-purpose running.
Edgar, quickly, the whole crowd shouting for Dallas. Would you rather have them here than the Panthers for revenge purposes?
I want to play Dallas. I want to play Dallas.
Well, we'll see later in the show whether they get Dallas. First, though, we're going to go inside and get some more reaction.
Everything is kind of like a blur. You know, I remember seeing 33 on my right, so I wanted to cut up inside him. Then I saw 50, number 50, and I made a move to my left on him. And at that point, it was nothing but the punter that I remember, and you know, it was just race to the goal line.
And whether you want to believe it or not, you know, we've gotten to what we've gotten because I think God, the Lord has really blessed us, and we've done a good job focusing, and we've got some good players on this team, and we've got some great guys on this team, and I'm enjoying it.
I believe you, Reggie.
I know you do.
So what we have to do is we have to take stock of what we've done, and we have to rebuild and look at the areas where we're, where we're suspect, and we'll be back. We've gone through this before. We went through it in '87. Everybody said we were dead and we were too old. We went through it again. We'll be fine.
So Green Bay will have home field advantage for the NFC Championship game next week, if they still have a home field left, that is, and they will face the winners of the Dallas-Carolina game. And we'll have that for you after this break.
As the UK's #1, Lunpolly give more discounts on more holidays than any other travel agent. Lunpolly, a better way to get away.
I hate queues. So, what's this? Can I go at the front? I've got to get my brass hand fixed. Excuse me, I couldn't get through there while you're reading your paper, could I? Can I come through at the front, please? No. Oh, go on. I couldn't come through at the front, could I, please? It's a bit circular, the queue here, isn't it? Do you want to come down the front, anyone? It's easy. It's queues, 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 queues.
Excuse me, you don't mind if I push in, do you?
Yeah. You don't mind me pushing in, do you?
Yeah, I do.
You don't mind me going before you, do you?
No.
20 packs of chips, please. Yeah, I hate queues, me, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Would you like a chip?
Oh, yes, please.
Relax, relax. Empty your mind of everyday stress, Sit back and enjoy our therapy session. Sit back and enjoy our therapy session. For a longer session, call 0990 200 200.
Jersey. There's 150 miles of winding country lanes. Jersey, the cream of holidays.
0800 66 9900.
one, Hooch. Tell us another one.
Okay. So, a man walks into a bar.
Hey, whose house is this? Whose house? Whose house? Back to Pride on 3. 1, 2, 3. Back to Pride.
They're a house-proud lot, you know, the Carolina Panthers, and it's your lookout if you get in the way while they're doing the vacuuming. Since they moved into Ericsson Stadium here at the start of this season, the Panthers haven't lost a single home game. Now they have to try to extend that record into their first ever playoff game against the team that's played and won more than any other in the postseason, the Dallas Cowboys. Mind you, it's not the Cowboys' playoff record. It's been attracting all the attention this week. Another week, another scandal in Dallas. Star receiver Michael Irvin and tackle Eric Williams accused of sexual assault by a 23-year-old woman.
I don't know anything about anything. I'm going to say again, like I said last time, I haven't done anything in any way, shape, or form to violate my probation. And also, I am tired of it. I'm tired of it all.
Through a season that's been one tabloid exclusive after another, the one constant for the Cowboys has been their #1 ranked defense. And they'll be relying on it today to rattle the Panthers' young quarterback, Kerry Collins, who's starting the first playoff game of his career. Collins, though, has matured fast this season. He has plenty of playoff experience around him. 12 players on the Carolina team know what it's like to play in a Super Bowl. Cornerback Eric Davis came over from San Francisco to help the Panthers relieve his old team of their NFC West title. And Collins' favourite target, Wesley Walls, is another former 49er. The Panthers' blitz-happy defense, meanwhile, is led by Kevin Green, who went last year with Pittsburgh.
Joining us for this one, as usual, for Cowboys games, is former Dallas receiver Drew Pearson. And Drew, it wouldn't be right to speculate about a case in which no one's even been charged yet, but are the Cowboys, or at least some members of them, a team out of control?
Well, I think so. But the whole thing is, the key thing you said is it's not all the team. It's just a certain amount of guys, and it's really hurt the team as far as the distraction in their preparation. But one thing this team has learned to do through the course of this season is handle distractions and stay focused at the same time. We'll see if they can do it one more time.
And this latest one came on the heels of their best performance of the season, perhaps, when the big three, Aikman, Smith, and Irvin, all came up big.
Yeah, and that's what's unfortunate, because they come off of a good victory, a victory that boosted the confidence of the team, and all of a sudden they pick up the paper on Monday morning, and now they got controversy to deal with. So they got to try to overcome that, but they need to get this game again from the big three, the triplets, Troy, Emmett, and Michael. They need a big game from those guys.
How do you see the battle between the offensive line of Dallas, who had a great game against the Vikings, giving up the fewest sacks in the league, against the Panthers defense, which has had the most sacks in the league? Something's got to give there.
Yeah, no question about it. This is the key to the game, what happens in the trenches, because both teams pride themselves on the work that they do with their offense and defensive lines. If Cowboys can pick up the blitzes and stop Kevin Green, Lamar Lathan from putting that pressure on Troy Aikman on the outside, then I think the Cowboys can run up the gut and also get their passes off. But at the same time, the Panthers want to try to put that pressure, and they're going to use more speed and quickness to try to combat the Cowboys' weight advantage and size.
Quickly, the Panthers are an experienced team, even though they're young, but the one man who doesn't have the playoff experience is Kerry Collins. How do you think he'll handle it?
I think he'll do okay. He's not seasoned in the NFL, but he's seasoned in big games coming from Penn State. He's played in a lot of big games. What the Cowboys are going to try to do is force him to make decisions to try to determine the outcome of the game. The Cowboys want to put the game in his hands. What the Panthers want to do is get their running game going and try to keep Kerry Collins from making the play to win the football game. If they can keep their running game going, it'll help take a lot of pressure off Kerry Collins.
Incidentally, we saw what Desmond Howard did for the Green Bay Packers in their game. In this game, you have the top two kick returners in the league, Michael Bates for the Panthers and Herschel Walker for the Cowboys. Here it is then, Dallas against Carolina for the right to play Green Bay in the NFC Championship.
Well, Panthers head coach Dom Capers put his offense out to start the game. So the Cowboys' two-point conversion fails, but while Troy Aikman was getting John Case.
24-yard field goal attempt by Casey is good.
Well, Drew, we got an interesting game. Momentum swinging both ways. It looked like Carolina had really taken it with that interception by Chad Cota, but Cowboys held them.
Yeah, well, they're doing what they like to do and what they do best, Carolina. They're playing good defense. They're keeping their opponent out of the end zone with touchdowns, and they're creating turnovers and turning those turnovers into points. So they're playing their game right now.
The loss of Michael Irvin is obviously huge for the Cowboys. How important, though, was that drive after the loss of Michael Irvin, where Aikman showed that he had confidence in the two Kevins?
Yeah, it was a big part of the Cowboys' psyche, because losing a player like Irvin, they say, oh no, what else can we deal with? Now we lose one of our star players, but it gives the team a lot of confidence, and Troy Aikman a lot of confidence when they can come back like that after losing a player such as Michael Irvin.
From a receiver's point of view, the Panthers seem to be going a lot to Willie Green, who's 6'4", against Kevin Smith, who's 5'11".
Yeah, it's been working. Willie Green's a pretty good receiver. He doesn't get a lot of publicity or a lot of coverage from the media, but he does the job out here, and you put it in his area, he'll make the catch. The Cowboys are going to have to make some adjustments at halftime, maybe bump those guys at the line of scrimmage so that they don't run free down the field.
Because the Panthers have a 6-point lead at halftime, and in the second half of the season, they've given up a field goal in the second half here at Ericsson Stadium. We'll have the second half after the break.
Quello che vuole, basta che fili.
Have you seen my razor?
I think it's on the cabinet.
Okay. Whose is that?
Nothing to do with me.
What do you think you're playing at?
It's not mine. Don't look at me.
I thought we told you to be careful.
John, I think we're the ones who should have been careful.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance.
If your family suddenly grows, so too will your responsibilities. That's why Allied Dunbar financial plans adapt, so you can face the unexpected.
Let's face the music and dance.
Allied Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
When you're looking for an epic night out, look for this sign, because where you looked for Access, now you'll find MasterCard.
Ça c'est profond. It's profound. How easily a man can travel directly from the center of London to the very center of Paris or Brussels. The raindrop, as you notice, a race follows the path of least resistance.
I suppose I just got used to the noise at work. Didn't really bother me. Now it's all I ever hear. I feel like I'm in a world of my own. We're going for a pint. Come on, get your stuff together.
Millions of people could have their health and their lives ruined by work. Employers could ease this unnecessary suffering by calling for a free HSE Good Health is Good Business Employer's Guide on 0345 181819.
Now Now then, time's running out on you if you want to be at Super Bowl 31 in New Orleans. There's just one pair of tickets left and 2 more weeks to win them. As well as seats for the game in the Superdome on January the 26th, you'll have a week to see the city. And failing that, there's still plenty of weekly prizes left. Our famed subject on Blitz this week was the only quarterback ever to win 4 Super Bowls, Pittsburgh's Terry Bradshaw. Now, 2 of those victories came against the same team. Tell us which team, and you'll be in with a chance of winning those tickets. 0891 444 444's the number, and here are your choices. The Vikings, the Cowboys, and the Rams. Back in Charlotte, the Panthers led the Cowboys 17-11 at half-time, and Dallas looked